Well, hello out there. You know, I was sitting here, minding my own business, enjoying this wonderful lollipop, what remains of it, of course, which isn't much, but it is delicious nonetheless. And it's tutti frutti as well. My favorite. When I came across an article that disturbed me, well, not really an article, more of a comment, and it led me to want to respond to it by making this video. So, what is it about, you ask? Well, where to begin? I know. So, GTA5 came out recently. The game is, like every other installment in the franchise, insanely popular. According to some sources, the game has sold 13 million copies on its first day, setting a new record for grossing the most money for a new release on day one in the entertainment business. Impressive. And of course I was in line too. I sat there in the cold for about an hour, waiting for my GTA 5, and it was worth it. Oh yes, it was worth it. Not quite as good as 4, but it was still awesome nonetheless. Anywho, with any GTA game comes controversy. And it's very unfortunate that the day before this wonderful piece of entertainment was to be released, a terrible tragedy had happened in the wonderful land of our nation's capital, sarcasm, where a man by the name of Aaron Alexis decided to go on a killing spree and kill, I think, 16 people? I don't remember the exact details, but I don't need to. It's a deranged maniac with a gun who killed innocent people for no reason. And of course, there are some reports out there that said that this man was obsessed with violent video games. And of course, the media is just, all hype and saying, video games did it. Even though there are clearly signs that show that this poor man was mentally deranged. I mean, he strongly believed that I don't remember exactly, but I think it said something about him having his microwave talk to him and tell him that the government was trying to get into his head or something like that. So let me get this straight. To anyone out there who thinks that video games are to blame for this incident or have some connection to this incident, you want to somehow blame the games for this man's horrific acts when there are clear signs of him being mentally deranged because he thought his microwave was talking to him. No, it's the video games. It's not the fact that he was mentally ill and thought his microwave talked to him. It was clearly the video games. Hell, one particular politician in Texas, I think, even blamed Grand Theft Auto 5, even though the incident had happened the day before the game came out. Now, unless this guy had some sort of time travel ability, I highly doubt that's possible. So, anyway, like any GTA, there is controversy. And one particular disbarred lawyer from Florida has already voiced his opinion on the latest release of the newest piece of awesome entertainment that is GTA 5. And that is Jack Thompson, of course. Now, I don't usually talk about Jack Thompson because I have better things to do with my time, like enjoy this wonderful lollipop, play GTA 5, or stare at a wall, a white blank wall. But Jack Thompson has recently made a comment to a discussion he was having with some gamers about the release of Grand Theft Auto 5, and he said some things in there that are quite interesting and disturbing and just quite funny. Let's read, shall we? He starts out by saying, enjoy killing people. And you aren't killing virtual people, you are killing real people. No, pretty sure it's virtual. I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless I don't know. I know what he's saying, but I'm just screwing for fun. You are an apologist for an industry that knowingly trains people how to kill and want to kill. Now, of course, Jack Thompson believes this crap that video games can train people to kill. You know, if that was so true, then why is it that so many people who served in the military who happen to be gamers have come out and said, no, it's not the same. The training that we learned in the military to learn how to shoot and kill is nothing like playing Call of Duty. I mean, if, like I've said before, if using a weapon like an assault rifle is as easy as it is on a game where you're flipping buttons and pushing sticks around, then it would be quite obvious. Unfortunately, it's not. So, but Jack believes this crap because he's a moron, but, you know. So, you know. Blood is on your hands. Losing a license is a very small price to pay in order to stand against this evil. Not to mention the, $10,000 you were fined by the Florida bar after you lost your license? I don't think that was a very small price to pay, Jackie. Now, the thing about this particular comment is he's saying that we're to blame, and I know where he's going with this. I've seen this before. Is because he believes that violent video games, when in the hands of kids, do all these horrific things. Whatever. He believes that. And the industry wouldn't be making these games if people like us didn't enjoy them. This is the same argument that anti-porn crusaders make, that people wouldn't be making porn if people like me weren't jerking off to it. Of course, trying to destroy the demand for porn is retarded, because as long as human beings have a natural reaction to sex, or natural instinct to sex, I guess would be the better term, we will have porn and we will enjoy it quite frequently. Now, let's see. Oh, yes. But with video games, it's pretty much the same thing. You know, as long as we gamers enjoy these games, we're going to play them. And of course, he says that, well, you need to stop enjoying these games because of all the problems they cause for kids that play them. Even though violent crime in this country has decreased quite frequently by a lot, especially compared to our youth. And that's information you could easily get by doing some serious research on the internet. Keyword, serious research, not just checking a couple websites. Unfortunately for Jack, he doesn't get that. He still buys in this crazy theory that video games train people to kill, and of course he's always going to believe it. Because, like I said, he's deranged. He's crazy. But, you know, who am I to blame? In fact, I think he's probably just as crazy as the guy, as Aaron Alexis himself. Except without the killing part. He's insane, just in a different way. So his whole trying to blame this on us for us because we're the ones responsible for the demand of these games is just pathetic. It really is. I mean, if we didn't demand these games, someone else would be making them somewhere. I mean, as long as at least one person wants to play Grand Theft Auto or a game like Grand Theft Auto, it will be made. And if someone else will make it for him, then he'll find a way to make it himself. It's kind of how scat porn became popular. Unfortunately. But anyway. I would be delighted to lose it again because assholes like you, who don't care about anything their own fun, spit in the face of not just innocent people, but in the face of God. Yes. You're right. I don't care about anything but having fun. You want to know why? I am not responsible for the ill wills of society. If a deranged maniac sees something in a video game, or in a TV show, or in a movie, and then thinks to himself, that looks like fun, and then picks up a gun and then goes on a killing spree, it's not my fault. Got it? I care about people, I care about victims. Unfortunately, you're trying to make it seem like if we weren't the ones, like I said, if we weren't the ones playing these games, we wouldn't be making victims because of the demand of these games. Well, unfortunately, like I said, that's never going to happen. By the way, I'd like to point out, no one demanded Grand Theft Auto be released. Like when GTA 3, which was the first huge jump in the series, nobody demanded that game. Rockstar made it because they thought it would be something that would be hugely popular and people would like. And it just turned out they were right, and it became one of the best successes of all time. So, yeah, there's a huge demand for GTA, but it's not like there was a demand for it. There was a demand for it originally. It was something that some programmers came out with and, hey, this sounds like a good idea for a video game. Let's make it. So, if they couldn't play 5, they could still play 3, I guess. If you guys get what I'm saying, I'm just trying to make a point that I'm trying to sort of tie this whole to saying that we're influencing the demand for these violent games isn't completely correct. But, I don't spit in the face. When people get killed by maniacs, I care. But to sit there and try and blame a piece of entertainment for someone's actions, and how about blaming the person that did the killing? How about punishing him? That's the thing about Jack. And of course he says, well, if they hadn't played the game, they wouldn't have done it in the first place. I don't buy into that bullshit because it's just not true. Maybe you're right to an extent, Jack, but as long as there's mentally deranged people out there, there's always going to be bad things going on out there in this world. So I think you're a little trying to blame us for this, blame the actions of us enjoying video games on people who are mentally deranged or people who aren't being properly governed by their parents is a low blow. But like I said, I expect nothing less from you, Jackie. Nothing less. And he also says that we also spit in the face, not just innocent people, but a face of God. The face of God. I have a question for you, Jack. Is the God that you're talking about the same God that is found in this book? The same book that says we're supposed to kill homosexuals, kill witches, kill disobedient children, and kill women who aren't a virgin on their wedding night? This same book? Oh, how pathetic you are, Jack. How pathetic you are. And considering the fact that there are religious people in different parts of Africa who are using those same passages right now to justify their slaughtering of witches and gay people, Jack, I really think you need to look at where you point your fingers at. Let's finish this up. I got a lollipop to finish. You are presently spiritually dead. And you, Jack, are brain dead. Whatever you mean by spiritually dead, I don't even know, because spiritually is different between person to person, and I am a spiritual person myself. I believe in God, particularly the same God you believe in, and I have to say, I think God's laughing at you, Jack. In fact, I think God created you just so that we as humans would have someone to laugh at for their stupidity, because that's what I'm doing. Boy. Anyway, if you awaken, great. Oh, I'm awake, Jack. Very awake. More awake than you could know. Until then, I have work to do, so stop bothering me, you idiot. Yes, you do have work to do, Jack. Very valuable work. A gamer tries to have a conversation with you, and that's how you respond. I have nothing against insults, because when someone says something stupid, I'll more likely insult them as I was with him. But when a gamer tries to have I don't know the entire conversation, but probably most likely it was, because I've seen how this man has acted around gamers. Believe me, I've seen him. Delicious. He seems to really just not like us very much. And like I said, he tries to blame us on this, saying we're the one fueling the demand for these games, which is why they're being made, which is why kids are playing them and becoming violent and blah, blah, blah. Jack, shifting the blame just shows how pathetic you really are. But then again, there was nothing about you that I found that wasn't pathetic. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to finish this wonderful piece of sweetness. Good day, gentlemen and ladies. gets the spot.